Hello, and welcome to the fourth council meeting of the Holy Bird Tribe. Tonight, you're going to get to hear about all things financial. We'll talk about the global currency reset, the GCR. We're going to talk about ascension and how abundance plays a role in that. Abundance in all ways, not just financial. We're also going to talk about digital currency and platforms and centralized versus decentralized institutions, for banking especially. We've got a very special panel with us tonight from the Bird Tribe, and we have a special guest who you'll get to meet in just a minute. Everyone on this panel is offering special gifts of their own because they've been on their own personal ascension journey. So I hope you'll take the time to listen to everybody's answers and really just see if you resonate with what we're saying, and hopefully some of the things that we're saying can help you on your journey as well. As always, links are in the description box. Please share, like, subscribe, and visit the panel's YouTube channels too, and give them a like and a subscribe on their videos and their channels. Caring is sharing. So thank you for being here, and please enjoy the show. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the fourth council meeting of the Holy Bird Tribe. We've got an incredible here tonight. We also have a guest. Get to that in just a second. Really excited for our discussion tonight because it's going to be all things financial, and we're going to do it a little bit differently, so I'm sure you'll enjoy it. And if you guys have any questions or comments or anything for anybody that's on the team and on the tribe, on the council, or our special guest, feel free to leave it in the comment section. Right now, I'd like to ask Jasmine, if you don't mind, would you mind introducing yourself now?
So I just wanted to introduce my girlfriend, Brooke Jones, to the Holy Bird Council meeting. And the reason why Brooke is here is we are going to talk about cryptocurrency and the new earth and digital currency and how that has a lot to do with the whole financial reset and stuff like that. So Brooke and I, we have quite, an experience together. We both live in Montana, and we've both been called back home to Montana in this year 2020, which is huge. And so we're really shifting together. And this is Brooke.
Welcome, Brooke. Thank you for being here with us tonight.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here. I'm so excited to be talking about this and to be part of this global shift that is happening on the planet, where the power is really coming back to the people. We are redistributing wealth. We are tapping into abundance, which is our birthright. There is no separation, or there should not be any separation between yourself and your abundance. We're really tapping into a quantum economy where currency can be as easy as breathing. And that's the place that we want to get humanity to, is where currency flows with such ease that any idea, any whim, any download, anything can be actualized right here and now. Jasmine and I truly believe that, we have gifts and callings and ideas and dreams that are necessary for this next stage of human evolution, and that one of the ways that we can bolster that and bring all of that to life is by helping people tap back into the abundance that literally is your birthright. You should not be separated from it, and it should just flow through you. So we're going to talk about a lot of that tonight. I'm really excited to be here.
Yeah, definitely. And abundance was on my list of questions too. And we're not just going to talk about cryptocurrency. We're actually going to get into detail about digital currency, cryptocurrency, and the vehicles that we're using to redistribute wealth. We're going to talk about that more on Patreon. So if you're not a patron of mine, the link is in the description box. It's only like $2 a month. So come check it out. You can cancel after the first month if you don't want to stay, but I encourage you to stay because I'm putting a lot of great content out over there. And you get to see all the backstage passes for our council meetings. So I wanted to bring up things like the global currency reset and the RV, which is the revaluation. They're two separate things. I mean, I believe they might happen at the same time, but there's things like precious metals, and there's so many different ways this quantum economy is going to be coming in and already is coming in. There's things that have been put in place. So I wanted to go, if you guys can follow me along here. What I'm going to do is go in order with, I'm going to start with Sherry. I'm going to call your name out and then you can unmute. And I'm going to ask you, do you believe in the global currency reset?
I absolutely do. And I did not up until about 6 months ago when this all started, but I've recently been doing a lot of research on it and looking into the gold and silver backed the currency instead of the fiat. And I actually heard something today that actually gold and silver is very undervalued right now. So that's one of the things that that people might want to start looking into besides the crypto. And we talked about, diversifying. I think Linda and I talked a little bit about this. So, really knowing and getting the knowledge behind you going forward so that you aren't left when, I believe there's going to be some type of, we know it's the reset, but whether it's going to crash or not is something else that's to be seen. But I think to be prepared in the next couple months and to know and to diversify, that wealth, that even if it's just a few, you have a few dollars, whatever you have, to do that so that you're ready when it comes, because it is important. And having conversations about finances has always been something that's really, really tough for people. But I think we need to start getting over that. And I think going into the new earth, because this is going to be for the, this is for the people, this is a rise for the people. We need to start taking responsibility for that, each one of us. And in order to do that, you really have to educate yourself. So I would suggest to everyone out there that you really start digging deep beyond the mainstream information that's out there, because and I would even say if you can go on to, I hate to say it, but YouTube or something like that, because that is the people's channel right now. So I feel like that's where your best source of information is going to come. And I could go on and on, but I do believe, and I'm really excited about it. I think for someone who has struggled with money, the reset and everything that's coming behind it, like cryptocurrency, to me, once I started educating myself, it's extremely, extremely exciting.
Yeah, it is. And you know what? I'm glad you elaborated more, because there's really no simple yes or no to that. Do you believe it? Yes. Okay. 6 months ago. Well, an explanation I think is really needed. So I'm glad you expanded on that. The next question I was going to ask, and I think you touched on that already, is do you believe it's already happening? Do you believe it's underway? Or is it going to be like a light switch moment for you? Like, how do you believe? Do you think it's a transition that we're already in now? Or do you think it's something that's yet to come that we just can't get our fingers on?
I think we're transitioning right now. And I'll tell you why. So I'm here in California, in Los Angeles, and I just went out to dinner before this meeting, and I was at a restaurant and they weren't taking cash. And I've heard that from a lot of people. There was a big sign, "We do not accept cash." Mm-hmm. And that's not the first time I've seen that. Yep. I've seen, we're short on coins. And I remember when it first happened, like 5-6 months ago, the very first thing in my head was something's not right. There's some transition going on. Mm-hmm. I also have a credit union, and that's based in Pennsylvania, where I was before I came out here 4 years ago. Yeah, Linda's the same member of the credit union. And so I used a shared branch out here. And I've had to go to, I think I'm on my 4th shared branch, because the 3 before that will not bank with me now. They won't tell me why. They just said, it started out like, the system's down. We're just having problems. You'll have to go to this branch. And then it's, we can't bank with you right now. So there's some kind of, they're beta testing is what I've been hearing.
Not only are they beta testing, but same union I belong to, I had, when you go and you used to ask the tellers, like, when are we going to the quantum financial system, or what's going on with the quantum financial system? They're, what are you talking about? Now they're telling us we're upgrading our systems. Is it the quantum financial system? And They're shaking their head. They're saying yes now, like they know about it. They're saying it's already here. So yeah, I'm glad you said all that. All right, I'm going to move on to the next person. We have Angel. Angel, how do you feel about the global financial reset? Do you believe that it's a real thing?
Well, yeah, of course it is. Everything's in the shift. So that's a thing. Where everybody's concerned about whatever, I'm feeling like our problems are the same as they ever were. I feel like it's a very important time to maybe think about more hands-on resources and abundance and creating magic that way. But I also don't have the, my life isn't the same as everybody else's. I'm not work every day, you understand? I don't function that way. And even when I was in the real world, I would just do what I had to just because that's what I had to do. And then I would just be myself. So as far as like, is it a thing? Well, of course it is. But I think that it's a ploy. You know, they're going to get you. They want you chipped. They want us in, you know, control. And that's, I mean, anything that has to do with anything outside of ourselves is wrong. So.
No, you know what? I'm glad you have that point of view because I want to talk about that just a little bit. There's a really big group of people out there that are so convinced and they're stuck in a belief system that they feel like it's either this way or that way.
It's not going to be like that. It's a shift.
With the digital currency, there's people that think it's the mark of the beast or that it's the beast system. Well, maybe it was created for those intentions, but we're here to break the system. We're here to bust.
It's just a label and a spell, and all it is for labels and spells. The reason for labels and spells is to keep something from doing what it should be doing naturally. So
right. And getting the money back to the people, the abundance to the people is
share.
I'm so glad.
All you have to do is share. You don't need anything. You don't need a boss. You don't need a leader. You just need to share. You need to go, hey, I like you. Hey, I like you too. I don't like to do this, but I like to do that. I mean, it's just, I don't know. It will eventually pan out the way it's supposed to, depending on how long it takes us to figure it out so we can get technology involved in the conversation way more than it is. So just my 2 cents. I'm uneducated AF on the subject also, disclaimer.
Look, everybody, I love your opinion. It's a great opinion because it, you know, there's a lot of people that share that opinion and, you know, you resonate with us and yet you still have hope, I'm sure, to see whatever the transition is going to bring. And hey, it might come in 7 different ways.
Oh, my only wish ever, the only thing I ever wish for, same thing my whole life. I always wish for everybody else to get their wish. That's the only thing I ever wish for. So for whatever you guys need, you guys just, I hope you get it. Like whatever you guys are stressing out about, because y'all look stressed. So stop it.
All right. All right. We wish it back on you multiply.
I love you.
I love you too. All right. We're going to move on. Jerome, I want to ask you the same question. Do you believe in the global financial reset? And do you think it's already happening?
I do. On both accounts. Or both of the questions. You can see many different aspects of, especially like how I mentioned last week in terms of like financial technology, even certain switches in terms of the scalability of a lot of the finances where you're able to like distribute a lot more funds digitally. Instead of like, you know, I think there are a couple of coins like DigiByte or one of those that is able to like transfer funds through like text message, even stuff like that. Yeah, so the scalability of it is only inevitable that it's gonna switch, and then we're changing, or we changed an age, so we're moving into like the age of ether, right? So you have that whole aspect as well too. When you look at moving into like switching back to like gold back dollars or money, right? Currency. There are cryptocurrencies that are also connected to gold as well, right? So again, there's scalability, and then when you look at the progress of certain forms of technology as well too, all of it is tied into the whole shift, right? So yeah, I believe it's still transitioning, but I think that is a lot further along than a lot of us think right now.
I agree with you on that, actually, and I do feel like it needs to be tied to something, because the old ways of making money, the fiat system, the Babylonian magic fiat system, money printed out of thin air. It's not backed by anything.
Yeah, is a design like a black, well, kind of like a black hole or like a magnet as well. So, you know, when you chase it, kind of like slips away, or depending on your polarity, depending on what your magnetism is. If you got the opposite pole against it, you try to chase it, just keeps moving. Right. So right. Whereas the system of ether would, you know, it equates to your own abundance, which is your birthright basically. Right. So the reality is abundant. Right, only the false matrix is designed as a lock matrix. So yeah. So we're definitely moving into that.
Yes, we are. I have to agree with you on that. All right, we're going to move on to Priscilla. We'd like to hear from you on this topic. Do you believe in the global financial reset, and do you think it's already happening?
Hi, yeah, of course. Yeah, of course, I believe it's already happening. We all listened, or most of us listened probably to the TED Talk about the financial difference, you know, the financial systems, which are the ones from before and the ones that would be, you know, to serve the people. And how the current system, you know, is like with the interest base, how when you don't have a lot of money in your account, you know, you pay more interest than you make. And on the contrary, when you have a lot of money in your account, you know, you have a lot of interest, which, you know, it's not fair for anybody. So it's really hard to, you know, move out of a certain position that you are. Of course, a lot of us do, and it's not impossible, but yeah, I'm very happy to see everything that's going on. I'm pretty new to this, so yeah, I'm learning also. So I'm very excited for tonight.
Great. All right, thank you. And Sarah, we're going to ask you the same question. Same question. Do you believe in the global financial reset, and do you think it's already happening?
Yeah, I do believe in it, and yes, it is happening. I work for a major department store, food chain, and so I've witnessed the change, the lack of coins being dispersed back out to customers, and I'm seeing it from the customers that are. It's almost like they have dismay. And if they only realize the big picture about the shift that we are going through, that it's, you know, they're just, I don't know. I think they need to get wise and get out of the box and definitely educate themselves, because this shift is, you know, you want to get on quickly. You want to be smart about your moves. Lord knows there's so many different aspects and different, you know, different ways that you can invest your money and make it count. And of course, with AI and the computers way that they're going to infiltrate the system is going to be a plus in a positive way. That way, the middleman or the bottom man will be able to profit in the end.
Yeah. All right. Very good. Well, you guys did great with that. I know Brooke and Jasmine, we kind of already heard from you, but I know you both believe in the reset, and I know you know it's already happening. So I'm going to move on to another question, and you guys will start this one, if that's okay. So Brooke, let's start with you. And do you think the global financial reset, the GCR, will help usher in world peace? Do you see that bringing in world peace and prosperity and abundance for everybody? Do you think it's all tied in?
Yes, I know it's all tied in, and I also know it totally depends on what you are choosing. So what's going to happen is each individual, this is a shift, but it's a shift of consciousness. So those that are not consciously like choosing to step into something different, you know, we've heard about 7 years of tribulation and this being like revelation type times, if people are not opting to move into their higher timeline self, they're not opting to go in, they're going to experience a very different kind of shift than those of us that are actively choosing to step into something different. And so I think what we're going to see, and I don't, by see, I want to be very clear on this. I see interdimensionally. I don't think everybody's going to see this. Here goes my internet.
No, that's okay. Right ahead. You're fitting in just fine.
Okay, good. Yeah, I don't think that everyone is going to see this, but there's going to be very distinct shift and separation between two schools of thought and two ways of thinking. And some people are going to become very empowered. And this is the shift into the new earth, into the higher dimension, into abundance and world peace and ease and well-being. Now, some souls that are currently on this planet are not yet ready for that. And, you know, if you come to my page and you listen to my personal story, I've been through hell and back. I've been through the dark night of the soul. Some people have not yet had that 2x4 to the side of their head. And they have not yet been through enough, right, to begin the process of awakening and ascending and moving into it. So I think that the possibility is there, but you are going to find that there are people in your life that are going, they've already had it. They've already had a very different experience than perhaps you have been having through this 2020 period. And that separation is going to continue to grow, that, I guess, distance between the light and the dark, between those that are ascending and that are abundant and expanding. And, you know, anytime something begins to die, there's a death rattle that happens. So this old system, as it crumbles, be fully prepared to have it, you know, rally at the end. Be fully prepared. It's not going to go out without a bang.
Right.
Now, that being said, those that are choosing to ride it, those that are choosing to step into it, that know that chaos means opportunity, it means change, it means the shift, that are willing to jump into it with open arms, yes, we can be the guideposts and the guiding light into something different, into abundance, into well-being, into ease and world peace. And, you know, I think when you sit down and you actually notice that we're all connected, but some people are going to have to go through some stuff to finally get to the point that they realize that.
Yeah. I think a lot of disclosure is going to help with, give that people that 2x4. I think that's going to help get the last like jump ship kind of, you know, mass amount of people. And I'm glad you mentioned ascension too, because that's on my list of things to ask you guys. But thank you. That was really well said. All right, Jasmine, you're up next for the same question. So we'll just talk about, we could say world peace and ascension. I'm just glad you brought that up. So,
yes. So I definitely believe that they are definitely together. They are definitely part of each other. Because if you think about it, money is the root of all evil. And so once we decide, just like Brooke said, we have to choose it. But once we decide to shift, then that's when it all occurs. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yep. All right. Well said. All right. So let's see, making sure I get everybody on the list here. All right. Now, Angel. Did I already start with you? No, I did not. Angel.
Yes, ma'am. What'd I do?
What does ascension, the word ascension, trigger inside of you? What does it bring up for you when you hear the word ascension?
Anxiety, ticking clocks, locked doors, exam bells going off, and I'm waking up and I'm like washing like slobber off my chin, feeling a bit overwhelmed, anxious, and where everybody else is excited, I don't have that same like yay.
Okay, no, that's fine. I want to know what it brings up for everybody, because everyone I think is going to have a slightly different perspective.
Well, when you say ascension, I automatically hear mutation, evolution. It's all the same thing to me. Okay. So, of course we have to mutate. I mean, nothing stays the same. So I'm not freaking out about it. I'm excited for like superpowers coming online, and seeing the world change. If taking everybody's, paper money away from them and, saying there's new rules, do over. I mean, if that works for everybody, well, I hope, yay.
Yay, right?
Yay. But
light switch. I think it is. That's just my opinion, but no. Anyway,
what'd you say?
I said that's just my opinion. I don't think it's going to be a light switch. I think it is a transitional thing. I think there are a couple light switch moments.
Oh yeah, this is going to be a raw hole for a while.
All right, very good. All right, I'm going to shoot right back to Brooke on this because I want to get back on my list. Brooke, what does the word ascension trigger in you? How do you feel about the word ascension?
Oh, feels kind of like I've been on a roller coaster for a while. It's both exhilarating and a little bit nerve-wracking. I know what my own personal ascension process has been, and I know that it's speeding up for everyone. And I know it was intense as all get out, and has been intense and continues to be intense. And part of me is like, humanity, hold on. Yeah, it's part expansion. It's that like butterflies in my stomach kind of feeling. There's this interesting sensation of like, I've waited lifetimes for this, for the planet to be at this time and space and the people to be ready. And I'm really excited about that. And also, I also know what comes with big shifts. And I know that it's a lot of stretching. It's a lot of discomfort. It's a lot of newness and different. And, that makes some people really crazy. And we're seeing that around the planet right now. We're seeing a bunch of people go crazy. That has a lot of people choose to opt out of this life and out of their bodies. And then for those of us that are leaning into it, it's like, woo, enjoy the ride.
Yeah, for sure. All right, good. So let's see, Jasmine, what does the word ascension mean to you, or what does it trigger inside of you? How do you feel about it?
Well, when I think of ascension, I think of the most easiest way to think about it as ascension is water, and the water, at the beach. And so there's waves. And, as a human in the water, there's people who don't know how to swim. And then there's people who are professional surfboarders, or people who are great at boating. We all have our different way of going about and communicating with ascension, because it's inevitable in this lifetime and everyone's going to go through it. And I believe that everyone is going through it right now because of the fact that everyone does have to go through ascension in order to be part of this new earth. And so that's what I think about ascension and what it triggers inside of me.
Oh, I'm glad you said that. That's really powerful too. And we're all connected through that water, like liquid light.
Yes.
So, let's see. All right, Jerome, you're next.
All right. So what triggers in me? So before it was like no, still, but it kind of felt like if it was like a party, or like partly, I guess, for the soul, but for our human aspect, it can be at least for me, I went through like a very fast awakening process. Could be very confusing a lot of the times until you begin to connect more deeply into yourself. And then for me, then it switched to not just an ascension of going up, but an ascension of going in, right? Going deeper into oneself and learning so much more about ourselves by essentially unpacking or uploading aspects of our DNA and expanding in that way, bringing the inner world outward into this physical reality. So essentially, like grounding that which is above or inside into this realm.
So
heaven on earth.
As within, so without, right? As above, so below. Yeah. Well said. I like that. Very good. Thank you. All right, Priscilla, we're going to go to you next. What does ascension trigger in you, within you? How do you feel about it?
Well, of course, for me, as everybody says, you know, we all are in a very high-rise momentum. You know, I feel that things are shifting very fast. I've been, you know, me, for myself, I think that a big part of my mission, it has to do with disclosure and, you know, other beings, you know, trying to help us and everything. So, and this week, you know, like 3 people, random people I know for a long time have come to me with these kind of things. So on that side, I'm seeing it really like, how do you say that? You know, yeah, it's like overboarding right now. It's like spilling the glass. So yeah, you know, so yeah, it's really nice. And it's of course a lot of, for me, it's a lot of magic, you know, because magic in a sense that things I thought could not happen happened, and things I thought did not exist actually do. So it's like I'm very eager to see what's coming. I'm very happy, and yeah, it's like it's gonna be mind blowing. So
I think it already is mind blowing sometimes.
yeah, so it is, exactly, it is for us, so for everybody. And I'm like, I'm not expecting anything less than something that I'm not expecting, you know what I mean?
Surprise me, just do something, right?
Exactly. So I'm like, I'm allowing it, you know, at the moment. I'm just trying to allow it because it's so crazy. Things that are, it's like our construct has put us in a certain reality, you know, that's really not holding it anymore.
Right. Yeah. Right. We're breaking the system. All right. Very good. Thank you, Priscilla. Sarah, I'm going to see over you, and then Sarah, you're the last one for that question. Okay.
So, ascension, man, it's kind of like a rite of passage in my eyes. It's kind of like you have milestones as you get older, you know, the typical milestone, but this isn't the same. This is kind of one that some of us, you know, got on the ride late. It's like a roller coaster ride. Some of us got on late, and it's a fast course, and it's a doozy.
Oh, sweetheart, you're never late. You're always in perfect time. Perfect divine.
But my thing is, you get distracted. Some people are like, "Ooh, I'll come back after I hit this one up over here, and then I'll come back and get on that one." But some of them are like, "Oh no, you're getting on it now, and here's a loop to loop," and you just kind of go with it. Of course, there's moments when you're uncomfortable, but once you get through it, and it's kind of an even kill, you know, it's you sit back and you're like, yeah, I went through that. I mastered it. And you can't expect anyone else to pat yourself on the back. You just do it yourself, and you're like, hey, let's get ready, let's get grounded for the next one, because it's gonna come hard.
Yeah. So true. You learn how to become a master surfer, right?
Yeah.
And by the way, guys, everybody watching, there's an interview with Sarah that I just published, well, today, but by the time this goes up, it'll be the last video up on my page, if that makes sense. Anyway, Sarah's got a wealth of knowledge, and she shares with us some things about crystals and things, but I really like how she did an active live, how to activate a grid with the crystals, and we gave a transmission with that. So check that video out. It's really cool. And Sarah, it's just, you're so full of knowledge. You really are. And I put bloopers at the end of it too. So that's even more reason to go watch it. So, all right. Thank you, Sarah. And Sherry, we're going to go to you. What last person for this question is, what does ascension trigger inside of you? How do you feel about it?
Well, my soul is like thrilled to be here, you know, at this time, like truly thrilled. And when I'm in that space, I'm just inviting downloads and like marveling at how far I've come and how my gifts are starting to show up like tenfold, and that's really cool. and amazing. But then the human in me is exhausted and it's like, what the hell did you sign up for? And it's like all of that kind of stuff. But ascension to me, like, there's both of it, but I'm really excited about it. Like, to me, it just means just this incredible journey, and I get to watch everybody around me, and especially watch my soul tribe, and we all have several, like this group, and then we all have, offshoots of that. And that's the most exciting thing to me about ascension, is that people are connecting on this level that we have never ever connected on. And there's just no words for it. And that's, I think the other thing with ascension, big thing for me, is that there are less and less words to describe what is going on this planet. And I guess that's where our gifts are going to come in, the telepathy and the clairaudience and teleportation and all those types of things. But there's just less ways to express what is going on. And that's, to me, that is ascension.
Yeah. And that's so true. It's like, as you're ascending, you're becoming more aware, more connected within. But that is the true abundance. That's how I see it. I don't see the money in abundance anymore. I was stuck in that mind system because that's how we were programmed. And to me, I see, as we're ascending, that is true abundance. That's where you start to get that inner peace, even when things are speeding up. Like this week has been crazy energies. Mm-hmm. I can feel it right now. My heart's just, picking up another download right now as I'm speaking. And it's like, I can feel it in my head. Yeah, wow, that's a big one coming in.
But to have everyone to be able to bounce that off of.
I am. I'm going to send it back out to you guys because it's spinning really fast right now.
Oh.
But
Linda, I can actually see it around you. I was seeing it. I was seeing, like, I was actually looking at you, and I was asking myself, is that her energy or what is it? Because I was seeing it like, phew, 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 and just you just answered it. I was literally, because my perceptions have changed a lot this week, and right now I'm seeing a lot going on around you. So.
Yeah, you see it's starting to settle finally. That just right when Sherry was saying that, but
it's like all behind you now and purple. It was all white and like really sort of flashy,
Yeah, my soul's been coming in a lot. I've had such an incredible healing this week too, and it's been very humbling, because there's been things that I've been stressing about and worrying about, and like Angel was saying, she said, y'all look stressed out. Like, you're not kidding. There's things that I was so worried about, and then it's like, as you ascend more, like, you don't worry about that as much. It's like, that's okay. That doesn't matter. You don't have to do this. Follow what you love to do. Been doing a lot of working too. Well, you guys follow me on my channel. You don't want to hear about me. You want to hear from the panel. We got limited time with these guys tonight. So let's get back to it. Off of me. All right. I wanted to ask a couple more questions, but let's see where we're at here. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to ask you guys just to sort of, take your own cue, but I'm going to ask you about centralization, banking, the money system, the way it is now, like the pyramid, the entity, the owner, the corporation, whatever, at the top, like a pyramid. Centralization, where somebody can control everything, versus decentralization. What does that mean to you? And do you see that changing in our society quicker, and not like a 7-year period like Brooke was talking about? Like, do you see this kind of going from centralized banking and financing and all that to decentralized banking on the blockchain and in digital and cryptos and all that? Do you see that happening, sooner rather than later, or becoming more user friendly, I guess is the term that I'm looking for? And I guess we'll start that question off with Brooke, let's start with you.
Yes. Okay. Totally great question. So the question was, what about centralization and decentralization, and how quickly will we become decentralized? The answer to that is, how quickly will the people choose to become sovereign beings and to become decentralized? And there is a mass movement right now happening on the planet where there are so many of us waking up, and we're stepping out of these old systems of control that were never intended. You guys, the system is not broken. The centralized system is not broken. It was actually designed to keep us small and broke and dependent. Okay. And many people are waking up to that now. And so I think that we're going to see both. You're going to see a centralized digital coin come out very quickly. Now, other people like us, ourselves, are choosing to diversify, and they're choosing to leap into the decentralized space because we understand the power of peer-to-peer, and we understand the power of sovereign choice and having a say, and the beauty of a decentralized system, so everybody that's watching understands. A centralized system is centralized, like she said, under a leader, under like a pyramid, under a person or a group of people that actually have a say over what you can do with yourself and with your currency. A decentralized system is actually housed in a network of people. So just like when we all come here and we all share all of our energy, we are a decentralized group. It's not all shared, just one person has all of the information. All of us have a little bit of the information. And so there's actually power in the people in a decentralized system. And what it really says is, I'm a sovereign being. I am whole and complete on my own. You are a sovereign being. You are whole and complete on your own. And then when we come together, we are a new whole, complete thing, right? Just like the cell is whole and complete and it's part of the bigger body. So that's the beauty of decentralization, is we can actually step back into our power, back into our roles, back into a place where we can be a true contribution to one another without the rules. Because if you guys haven't noticed, in the centralized system, they don't like us sharing. They don't like us uplifting each other. It actually goes against the old system. The old system is entirely based around debt. The old system is actually intended to have people broke and tied to a mortgage, which means death note. So I think we're going to see more and more people wake up, more and more people diversify, more and more people say, hey, you guys have had too much control for way too long, and I'm giving the power back to my friends. I'm giving my power back to my soul tribe and to myself.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Wow, that was great. Thank you. Thank you, Brooke. All right. Jasmine. Same point. Centralized versus decentralized.
I would like to say about centralized and decentralized, it definitely is up to the power of the people. And with allowing to have access to this type of information, like having this Zoom call and having this outlet for people to see this offer, you know, vehicles that can offer financial freedom, like financial security. I mean, these are all, as we go into the 5D, financial security and financial freedom, that's going to be like root chakra, like primitive stuff. Like it's just gonna be what we have, like food, like water, you know what I mean? And so that's what decentralized allows for people. And Brooke like hit it spot on. It's just power to the people all the time, all way. Even that's what decentralized mean. You know, it's thousands of people, you know, powering these things, this technology.
I've seen that coming, like for Projects for Humanity and things. I see it coming in many, many different ways, and it's really cool. But actually, we're going to be talking very soon for the Patreon part about how things are going on in the digital currency world and the cryptocurrency world, and platforms and things vehicles that we have access to now. So it's pretty amazing. All right, Jerome, I'm going to ask you next. Same question. Centralized versus decentralized. Yeah.
So more recently, how I started seeing centralized is kind of similar to like you know, the what it is, the not the Republic, the in Star Wars with Darth Vader and them, like that whole control system kind of yeah, where you have like that whole pyramid system, and then you got like if you look on the US dollar, they have like the eye, but like an aspect of it, or the capstone, is like cut off from the rest of the people. And so in itself, in that aspect, you can even see like a pyramid and within our energy system coming up, and basically they're like cutting us off from the higher aspects, right? Trapping people in the lower part, in the, well, yeah, like a lower spectrum. So yeah, the whole aspect of decentralized is basically the people basically giving their power away into this lock matrix. Whereas the decentralized would be connected into our own sovereignty, the connection into even like us as individuals and also collective, bringing heaven or that which is within on earth. So yeah, I can see decentralized platforms actually bringing a lot more freedom to a lot of people. You wouldn't have a centralized system of maybe like electricity and all that stuff. Like everyone would basically self-govern. It's going to take a lot of work internally for a lot of people to actually come into the full self-governance though. But I believe a lot of people, and I'm seeing a lot of people actually moving into, yeah, they actually demand a lot of that more so now. Even if it's just like within the subconscious mind of it, you can see it surfacing now. So yeah.
All right, very good, thank you. All right, Priscilla, you're up.
Hello. Yeah, well, of course, for me, it's a little bit like what I said at the beginning. You know, of course, all of these things, it's right now, for sure, things are changing. For sure, for certain of us, that's for sure. And for sure, we are not aligned with a lot of the things that are going on right now, and it's really separating, sort of. So inevitably, I think, you know, awesome change is coming, and this is part of it. So whether we are, you know, agreeing with it, whether we like it, whether whatever, it's happening for sure. So I think that the first thing to do is to educate ourselves if we're not educated. And exactly like Jerome was saying, for the chakras, the 3 base chakras are really based to survival, and we are brought up to survive all that we are going through. You know, it's like always surviving and always like, and it's the heart. So I think that with hope, you know, and with people, some of us maybe getting there and showing others, it's going to open the hearts, and it's going to let the you know, the energy go through, and everybody that are willing and that are open. I think that we went through it pretty fast, and I think that, yeah, it's time to acknowledge and engage.
Very well said. All right, very good. Listen, Sarah, we're coming to you, but I'm gonna throw you a little bit of a curveball because I'm just noticing the time now. Don't worry, you got this. So I'm just gonna move to the next question for you. So how would you describe, or do you see us moving into a cashless society? What does that mean to you? Do you see it happening?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the possibilities are strong for it. I think what's going to happen first is we're going to see people react and maybe kind of going through a hoarding mode, where kind of like even with the change as we speak, people are going to hold on to it and they're not going to let it go. So they're going to use it when they absolutely need to use it, and it's going to force everyone to be in charge of their funds, and whether it's bargaining, being more creative, and kind of like having a side hustle and being able to make money and move it and barter and trade. You're going to see people coming out of the woodworks offering things that they probably wouldn't have done before just to get their money.
I see that too. I see a lot of that going on. Good point. I'm glad you brought that up. Like people will be growing their own foods more and, bartering and all. I totally see that. But in a good way. I see that happening in a very positive way. I
Yeah,
see
I do too.
into something wonderful. So
And it's part of the old system also to make the people, think that they can't do it, so they need to rely on somebody else to do it. So it's all part of it. We need to do our own thing. Nobody's going to do it anymore for you. Like, we can do it. Everybody can do it. Everybody's intelligent enough, everybody. We have our strengths. And yeah, that's what we need to realize. It's part of the evolution, of the ascension, of our consciousness, of our capacities and everything. It's really part of the growing up.
yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's fine. It's
Yeah.
all put together. And hey, Spirit wanted to talk, so you go ahead. Sherry, we're over to you now. Same question for you about cashless society, or if you want to throw something in about centralized, decentralized, because you might have been preparing for that one. I don't know.
It was. but it kind of goes together. No, I do think we're going to cashless society, and I think it started a while ago as soon as cryptocurrency was introduced. I think it was 2009 or 8 or something like that when it first, I think it had been around before that. So I think it's been around enough that we are in that transition already. I just think that, as everyone else has said, we're not educated enough. And I do anticipate some people panicking maybe and not quite knowing what to do with that. But because we've been in a centralized third-party system where everything has gone through that third party, removing that third party, it's, again, because I'm on the tail end of everything, it's basically just saying what everyone else said. People aren't going to quite know what to do with that. So there does need to be education, but it does give us our power back. And I think once the mystery comes out of things being cashless and going through, for example, a crypto system, once the mystery comes out of that and people start understanding what that really is, there's going to be so much empowerment that there's going to be no turning back. But until I learned recently what it really was with the blockchain and how the information is coming this way and it's this way, and you cannot interfere with that information anymore. There's just no way to do it without affecting the rest of the blockchain, without that information.
It can never be changed. They can't cheat. They can't use the corruption anymore. It's
exactly
there.
Yeah, so it's brilliant. So if people can understand on the simple level what the technology does to keep our money and our wealth safe, then I think everyone's going to get on board, and there's not going to be any fear around it anymore. It's just we've been so uneducated about it, and there's been so much fear brought in by the media about all these things that are going on, but it's not really, that's not what's happening. That's
right.
Really
like a forced chip or something like that. And yes,
exactly.
That was a plan to bring that in, but no, that's not happening.
Transactions that are devious or what? Well, you can't do that because it's a blockchain and the information's there. Like it just doesn't. It just can't happen. So, that's what I think.
And I skipped your last round. I apologize. I didn't ask you about what ascension triggered in you, did I?
No, you did.
I did ask you. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't put the check next to me.
That's when you vortex. You vortexed out.
Oh, right. I forgot to check your name. All right, so guys, we're coming to the end, but I want to do one quick thing, one more minute for each of you guys before we go over and have a more detailed discussion about digital currency with our special guest, Brooke. 1 minute or less. Anything you want to say about the finances, the quantum financial system, just Sarah, Miss Sarah, like anything, bring it all up, anything you want. 1 minute or less. And Sherry, we're going to start with you this time. I know, I don't want to miss you. You're at the top of the list. You came in first.
Okay. Sarah, I think is an incredible, I don't even want to call it program. I don't even know what to call it, but I can't wait until it's fully in effect because it will completely shift the energy of the planet. If if you imagine everyone being abundant and wealthy, how that's going to change the entire planet. Just, I mean, it blows your mind to think about it. But that's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to go.
Nope, very good. All right, Angel, you're next. Anything you want to say about finances? Bring it on.
Well, obviously this isn't my arena of expertise, but I believe in being ready. So whatever that means to everybody else, you know, do that. And there's a TikTok clock. So if you're feeling like you're in a rush to like figure some stuff out, you might want to start figuring some stuff out. So I love you.
Spirit have any messages?
That was it. Hurry up.
Perfect.
You can get on the train, or you can stay on the platform, but it's up to you. It's your choice, whatever that is for you. Well, but do it. Okay, this is gonna be really bad, but they just said shit or get off the pot, pretty much.
I was hearing that. I'm not shitting you. I was hearing that. I was tied into that one.
Love you guys.
Love you too. All right, Brooke, you're next.
Yeah, so everything that I've been, all the downloads I've been getting, I filed bankruptcy 4 years ago, you guys. I'm not historically good with finances. In fact, you could say I was probably the worst with finances for a very long time. And the message I've been getting is that it does not matter. It is completely irrelevant to the new systems that are coming online and to the reset that is happening. Again, the old system was designed for failure. It was designed to keep people small and stuck. This new system does not work that way. So lead into educating yourself about what's happening now and come in with an open mind and be willing to try it all on and to get on the train and get off the platform, because it's not going to work like it did before. You are not a failure. The system was a failure.
Well said. Thank you. Mic drop. All right, Jasmine.
I'm just writing that down. You are not a failure. The system is.
The system is. There you go.
So what would I like to say about Nisara? Did you say Gasara? That's it?
You want just 1 minute or less or so. Just keep a short little close-up thing about the digital currency or the Nisara Jacera, anything that is coming through from your soul level.
So with everything shifting, you know, we're knowing about the shift and the 5D and the new earth. Well, the shift means that it's all coming back to us, power back to the self. And so our higher self is just offering us, if we are ready in our human body, to experience our abundance or experience the highest timeline. And that's all I wanted to say.
Wow. Boom. Another mic drop. You guys are crushing it. All right. Thank you, Jasmine. Jerome, you're up.
All right. So, yeah, I see everything moving into more perpetual way of energy flow, 0 point energy. Yeah, in terms of the Nisara Jacera, as in itself, basically removing the whole aspect of the straw man identity, the whole aspect of the system, taking our power away, or us consciously giving our power away to the external source and bringing it back into ourselves. And again, tapping into that point, that quantum energy, that quantum aspect within our consciousness. So, yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you. All right. Yeah, that quantum point. That's where we're all quantum economy, quantum self, 0 point. Yep. All right. Priscilla, you're up.
Yeah, well, that was a slicker way to explain what I wanted to say. You know, it's just that some people want or would like to believe that it's just going to fall from the sky, which exactly with like sort of the law of attraction thing. And, you know, of course, it's just, you need to put some effort into it also, you know, like all of this is shifting, and it's all together. It's not only one thing, and it's all, yeah, about channeling, you know, yourself and all your quantum possibilities and what you're going to do with it. Because it's like, once you've received the light, what you're going to do with the light, you know what I mean? So,
right. Oh, good point. Good point. I just heard somebody saying that today. You
yeah.
get all these gifts, you get these activations, you get these inner treasures, and you play with them for a month or two, and then what? Then what do you do with them?
Because if they would just come and give it to us, it's going to be the same thing. We're not going to be empowered, you know, and we're going to be lazy again, and then we're going to want to have microwaves, and you know what I mean? Like, it's not
even if they do help people through a transition, and there is a universal basic income, let's say, I believe.
Yeah, of course, but to build something with it, you know, right. It's not a endless fund where you're just gonna, you know, watch TV and eat whatever. And I mean, you know, it's gonna go with something. You know, we need to see that we are much more capable of doing things, and the ideas are just like crazy these days. So it's learning also what to do and how to deal with that, and with the time and everything. So it's really, it's an adaptation, but it's going really good. You know, it's all good. So yeah, a lot of new things for everybody.
It's always on time. All right, thank you, Priscilla. Sarah. Okay, last one. Last but not least.
So, I guess in a nutshell, step out of the box. We've been doing it like this for a very long time, and everyone needs to embrace the change, because the winds are blowing. It's going down. I mean, everything is subject to change. The weather, the climate, the way the world is just moving as we speak. We have to get out of the false belief system that we've all been accustomed to, and open up to change, and be here to help the people around us. We can't force feed this to them. We can't force it on them, but they're gonna sit back, and we're the group that's supposed to drop the seeds, to give them the knowledge, to give them assistance and help. So granted, I'm still learning as I go. I don't claim to know everything about the way the system's going to be. So my thing is just being completely open-minded, and use your discernment, and follow your spirit, follow your soul, and do what's best for you and yours.
Excellent. Excellent advice. Thank you. Thank all of you for being here, and hang around for a little bit more, because we've got some really good stuff over on Patreon that we're going to do right now. And for everybody over on YouTube, thank you for joining us for the show. Thank you for all your comments, your support, your donations, your likes, your subscribes, your shares. It means so much. So we are working on projects for humanity, and we are working to manifest these projects, not just sit and wait for, you know, some kind of $1 trillion to come flying to us from a reset. And if it happens, all the better, you know, because we've got plans and we're working on them. So we are going to take our leave now, and thank you for joining us, and we will see you next week. Bye.